Notification volume 0%.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Blindformers. I am your host, Blindprime, and for today, I have for you Chrome Dome from the Transformers Headmasters reissue from Walmart. There's 4 of them out there. I also saw an Optimus Prime, which I'm still trying to track down and figure out what's up with that thing. But this is Chrome Dome. Now, if you're a fan of the IDW comics, like I am, then you know that Chrome Dome is a programmer and best friends with Reverse, Record. Oh, the little memory stick guy. He's awesome. I like him. He's one of my favorite characters. But so he's the best friend of that guy, and you know they kind of sync up well. He's a computer programmer. That dude's a memory stick. Works out for them. He actually joined the war. He was a neutral party until the war blew up his company, and then he was like, "Oh, screw this! I'm going to go program weapons," and that's what he does. He programs weapons and other such things. He's one of the most expert programmers they got. So let's talk about his vehicle first. He's got a weird little bumper thing on the front. Kind of reminds me of really expensive Cadillacs or Rolls Royces, and then it's got sleekness. Kind of reminds me of a NASCAR on the rest of his bumper, but goes up. He's got a hood dent, and it's for air intakes, and his wheels are nice size. The vehicle is definitely sci-fi. It's sci-fi all over the place. And this guy comes from G1, where in the G1 that he comes from, it was like 2020, maybe it was 2006 or something like that. Anyway, they thought it was the future. It's now our past. But so let's get to this. So for future stuff, they always design really unique future cars. This guy's really unique. He's got a lot of cool textures. There's many parts of him that have little vents. So when you run your fingers down, you suddenly feel this cool little blotch of texture. That's neat. So if you're a texture happy person, this guy's got all your textures. Let's start with his whole transformation stuff. First off, we'll remove his guns. This gun is unique because it's got a flat panel and then a gun, and it looks awkward. It's like I could not figure this gun out for a little while until I did. And then it has another gun. It's a simple little gun with a 5mm port. And when you lay the bigger gun down flat where that little dish area where the sides come up, where you think it's negative space, it needs to be facing up, and the 5mm port faces up. And then you can attach the little gun to the 5mm port. Now, we'll get Skylar out of here. Come on, get out of the cockpit. You can't lock it from me. All right, get him out. There, he's a little dude. Now, this is something I discovered accidentally, and maybe it's in the instructions, maybe it's not, but it's cool nonetheless. The little platform thingy I was talking about is actually the perfect size to give him a seat. So he could sit here, and this is now a little mobile weapons platform. Pew, 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 pew. I think it's cool. So, Chrome Dome here is, put his cockpit back. That way we can transform him correctly without missing any steps. Chrome Dome here is 16 studs long. We have for him, as always, little cliff jumper. Little cliff jumper comes all, if you lay their backs flush to each other. Cliff jumper's tip of his hood comes to a little bit into the front wheels of Chrome Dome. Chrome Dome is also as wide as 2 cliff jumpers, or nearly so. Chrome Dome's crazy. Go away, cliff jumper. Go find something to shoot or something to yell about because of your height. I don't know. Now, let's get to the transformation. So first off, you want to take up the cockpit cover. Just go ahead and move it all the way up and let it just kind of hang out for a bit. you may want to drag it down, and if you do, when you drag it all the way backwards to the top of the legs, or to the back of the vehicle, I should say, it's not the legs yet, you can actually push the front of the hood down, the cockpit cover down again, and it fits flush on the top of the vehicle. So I guess that's an added thing, so you can make it into a nice little convertible if you want, I guess. When we're beginning the transformation, it is important to remember that the arms should come out first. There you go. Bring them out. They actually are on a little extendo hinges so that they can extend further than the body of the car, which is why I ask you to do it, because when they're in there, they act as little bones that stop the transformation from working properly. Now, we flip the guy over on his back, and we'll take you will feel underneath his hood that there's a weird structure there, a weird little panel. But on the edges, on the corners, there's nothing. So feel in between the corner of the hood and the side of the little panel, and you can pop the hood up and pop the panel down. And just like that, you fold the panel over and snap it into place. And then this hood gets folded down, but we're not going to do that just yet because we're going to work on the legs now. So flip them over, grab your legs. First off, put your thumbs on top of the cockpit, on the very top of the back of the vehicle. Put your fingers under each wheel, under the back of the vehicle. So one hand has fingers under one wheel, the other hand has fingers under the other wheel. Then push down slightly with your thumbs while pulling out with the wheel panels. And they should all unfold to be a wheel and a little extra stuff on the side and the tip of the foot. So now that you've done that, you can then take the entire back of the car and you want to fold it 180 degrees. It will come apart quite easily and reveal his thighs. Now when it's spun 180 degrees, the cockpit top should be facing the same direction. It should be in the same direction as the hood of the car. Remember, we folded the hood of the car over? Wait, no, we didn't. Sorry, I'm blind, and I'm feeling a different texture entirely. It's the that little spot that I told you about, his chest piece that folded over. The cockpit should be flat with that. Now that that's done, you want to spin the legs 180 degrees so that the cockpit is now the cockpit top on the back of his legs is now facing up, or I guess towards his back. So we'll work on the legs now. What you do with the legs, it's pretty easy. While you have the panels open that have the wheels attached to them, feel inside of them and you'll feel a little hinge. And at the very back of the leg, like where it's facing furthest away from the robot, you will feel two little nubbins that stick out on either end of those panels, and they can actually be folded up to be feet. Oh, isn't that neat? He's got little feet. They're hiding. I went looking everywhere for his feet when I first transformed it, and they're just right there. They're just really cleverly hidden amongst the textures, so feel around for a bit until you get it right. Once you get the feet in, fold both of the wheel panels back down until they snap. And once they snap into place, you can then unattach both of the legs from one another. Now that that is done, we're going back to the hood. So, going back to the hood. Now the hood is still kind of where it should be in the car mode. It just can flop now that we broke the connection. Now we need to break another connection. If you feel where the hood connects to the car, that hinge, there's this weird bar feeling thing in there. And it's got a lot of ridges on it. Well, that bar is actually a connector, mobile hinge peg system, I guess. I don't know, it's pretty neat. So you want to pull the hood away from that bar. Just a little, not much force. And then the bar will want to bend forward while the hood goes down and snap into place at the top of the hood under the hood, of course, but towards that weird Rolls-Royce style bumpy thing I explained to you about that fits out from the rest of the car a little bit. The hood, once connected like that, we'll move to the arms. Make sure that both arms are well away from the hood. You may have to do a little finagling to get him out because, he just has this thing about his arms wanting to go into his hood. And on each of the forearms, for his arms, you will find that there's a little rough patch on the inside of the forearm where his fists are kind of hiding. And you can take your fingernails and work on that little rough patch circle until you get the hand out. Sometimes it doesn't want to go, but there it is. Now there's both hands. Once the hands are out and the arms are appropriately further away from the hood, everything, as you heard those snaps, I was just pressing on the hood and on the chest piece at the same time, or I guess his back now, and the chest piece at the same time, and getting some nice appropriate snaps, letting me know that I have done all the transformations correctly so far. Snaps usually help, but snaps can sometimes be bad. It's important to figure out the difference between snaps, but that's a personal thing. I mean, you only learn really the difference between snaps once you've heard a breaking snap a few times. So let's discuss his little headmaster friend here. Now, his headmaster friend has two little bitty arms with no joints, and one leg that's kind of cut into two separate legs, but they're connected at the bottom, so definitely weird. Yeah, he's got two hinges in that leg that can make him seem like he's sitting or laying, but other than that, it's not much. So let's take his little pointy arms and we fold them down to his body side like he's trying to put his hands in his pockets, and they should lay flat with either side of the transformation he's making. And then you take the back legs and you fold them forwards all the way, or you fold them where the hinges want them to go, and they will plug into some ports on his chest lightly. These are all light plugs, by the way. And once you do that, flip him over, hold him by his little head, and feel his back where he now has a bigger head. Woo! We've turned a robot into the head of another robot. And if I had Scorponok, that's a head within a head within a head, and that's craziness. It's headception. Oh, and make sure, it's always important since you're connecting your head, you gotta always make sure that you're putting it in right. So, once you've connected the head, you want to, there's a little bitty rectangular port on the top of his chest area where it's flat and totally feels like there should be a head there, but there isn't. So we're going to try this again. His head is a bit difficult to plug in. I will let you guys know that right now. Sometimes it happens super easy and super simple for me, and I'm amazed by the ease. And then sometimes he just wants to fight me. I don't think he likes his head. I mean, it is kind of a weird looking head. At least in the sense of, I wouldn't expect a computer programmer to have such a macho head. There we go. You heard a satisfying snap. That snap means that it is done, baby. Now, we'll take his two little guns, and you can take them apart, or you can just kind of put them together. And if you put them together, then he's got this crazy long gun thing, which is kind of neat. I like him. He's a fun little transformer to transform. So let's stand him up straight. Come on. Yep. Act like you're about to meet a world leader. Stand up straight. Now, we can get a good measurement from him. We'll measure on that end alone, and we have 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So, he is 21. He is 21 studs tall. Look at that, 21 studs tall, counting his head and his pauldron thingies, because they all come about the same. Actually, no. Sorry, 20 studs tall with those things. My bad. I got words mixed up. Oh, there you are. There's Chrome Dome. Let's get him a little bumblebee so you, those of you who can see, can understand the difference, and I will describe it to you. Oh, Lord Bumblebee. Every single day you pull this on me. Here you are. Always, Bumblebee. Always getting into stuff. What are you, hanging out with that Spike Wiki again? Now, the Bumblebee here comes up to... Oh, yeah. Chrome Dome here could just lay his arm on Bumblebee's shoulder and just be like, "What's up, bro?" So that's cool. Bumblebee's sword totally makes him. The sword is taller. Well, there you have it. Move you off to the side, Bumblebee. For robot mode, he's pretty cool. He's got some nice textures. He's got some nice maneuverabilities. And for the most part, I think that he was a very good purchase, and I hope to get a few more of these guys because they are kind of fun, and I enjoy the aspect of having another little robot. So, thank you very much. This was my first non-Transformers War for Cybertron line toy. This is not War for Cybertron at all. This is just reissue Headmasters. So, y'all have a great day. And once again, I am the Blindprime, and you are watching Blindformers Episode 9, Chrome Dome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And share with other people who you think are blind, or just Transformers fans who want a different approach to transformation. Have a good one. Bye-bye.